go, I'm going to play totally standard and there's nothing you can do about it?
I would very
Or
much
are
say
we going
that's
to
the
see
case.
something like, I'm going to play ZVZ like anyone does and just Ling Bane all in you all day, air day?
Well, that might happen, but I think. Oh, we're actually seeing this as just an extractor trick. Nope, no scout either. So just an extractor trick.
Yep.
I think we're just gonna see him play one of the just this very standard safe style. He's clearly demonstrated a lot of patience. He's not rushing. He's letting his opponent come to him until he's comfortable enough to make an optimal move. And we're probably just going to see him play this out as standard as possible. And in this matchup, I think that's probably going to be Roaches.
We will see. I'm honestly most excited to see the one player goes Roach, one player goes Muta, and what happens when two good players play like that.
Mhm.
Obviously, pretty sure Cold's gonna go Mutas because he always does. Sorry, sorry to the chat for spoilers, but this guy's one trick pony in pretty much all races. It's a good trick, but anyway. So we do see Cold's got the first expansion, but both are doing exactly the same. Pool first, Cold's getting gas. Does not look like Revolution's getting gas, so similar to his ZVP, he is going gasless. Take that back, he's taking a gas right now. So a little bit later, waits one more drone for his gas geyser. So shouldn't be too much in terms of Cold's going to have his speed done a little bit earlier, but it's not going to be enough earlier to do massive damage or anything. It's going to be a
So
very small window of difference.
why do you think we have Revolution getting such a late gas? Like why get it at all? Then why not just go gasless? What do you think is the logic
The
behind this?
the reason for going such a late gas as opposed to a gas at a standard time is more of a defensive posture. So you see, he gets an extra drone, and all he's going to try to do is defend whatever comes at him. Whereas Cold, being the more postured for aggression player, as he's taken his gas at a pretty standard, just get speedlings pretty quick time, is going to try to put on some pressure. I would
Yeah.
guess.
What I think might be going on also is I think this is effectively a spiritually gasless build, and what I mean by that is he doesn't want to be aggressive with this speed. He doesn't care if it finishes whenever. He just wants the speed so that he could stop his opponent from getting a fast third base. Because when you open up gasless, you really leave yourself open to a very, very, very greedy economics leap ahead from your opponent. And and I think he's intent on avoiding this because, as we mentioned earlier, his general mindset is as long as I don't let my opponent have an edge, I will come out ahead because I am amazing and all that.
That is the idea.
And we do see that's actually probably the biggest problem with gasless and why builds that I mentioned earlier, like the 440 double gas, exist to punish these greedy thirds that come out from a gasless build. But I do expect we're probably going to see just it could be Mutalisks actually. We'll see soon within the next minute what their chosen tech paths are.
Indeed. Both players doing pretty much the same thing. Cold getting his wall with 2 evolution chambers, and Revolution opting for not doing that. He's just going to defend with units instead of buildings. But both are starting a spine crawler at the same time. Both are pretty much doing exactly the same thing. The only measurable difference is the inject was a little faster for Revolution, so his drones are a bit earlier on this.
And also looks like the choice of tech is also going to be Mutas out of Revolution. So we're not going to see Roach on. Unfortunately, we're not going to see some Roach play this game. A little bit of wasteful. Like this is probably like the difference I think between the two for certain. You see that Revolution is very confident in his Bailing link control. If he saw units stream across the map, he would be like, okay, I have 2 Bailings made already. I'll hold this with my micro. Whereas on the other end, we see Snow get buildings that he's not even going to use for. Sorry, Cold get buildings that he's not even going to use for a long. Dear God, he's not even going to use for a long time, and this just showing the two different mindsets and how uncomfortable or comfortable they are in the matchup.
Indeed.
So a little bit of a late 4th gas out of Cold. No Spire coming down on his end yet. Revolution Spire is going to be a bit ahead, unfortunately. That's just a little advantage. He's a
Cold does see a move out and is making some Zerglings before he starts his Spire, so that's the difference at the timing there.
This is very standard in Muta v Muta. There's this little meta game that happens where both players kind of ask each other, how many Banelings is my opponent going to make to try to deny my third? And any Banelings that you force out of your opponent is not Mutas, right? But if you underestimate... Oh no, very sloppy Bane control coming out of Revolution.
Bit of a misclick. It's not going to end the game for him, like some Mystics would.
A little bit unfortunate giving that up. He's morphing some more now because his pride is wounded. This guy right here, he's upset that he actually didn't get the damage he wanted done. So he's coming back in here, which might be a mistake. He's burning more gas, and appropriately, Cold is making more Banelings to deal with this, though we see a higher link count all the way out of Revolution. The Banelings are going forward. They're going to probably detonate 2 for 3. Pretty good trade for Cold. And another time, and it looks like Cold's overtaking Revolution in the lane count, as you would expect, because he has the quicker reinforcement line. So we have to ask ourselves, with that aggression, who really came out ahead? It's hard to say, because both their thirds are pretty much going to be even, and they both burn the same amount of gas on Banelings. And that's how you usually see that engagement go between really good players. It's just one of those little dances that happens in high-level ZVZ, Muta versus Muta.
The difference, in fact, is Revolution's gases at his third are going to be done a little earlier, but Cold is going to slightly have his in the extractors. So, effectively, Revolution's got a 1 gas lead until this extractor finishes, so that equates to about having 1 more Muta that Revolution's efficiency provides him versus Cold's
I think
not
that's
quite finishing.
1 gas geyser mines approximately 100 gas a minute, and there wasn't a minute gap, so I don't think it would be that much. I think it'd be about maybe 50 gas advantage, not more than that.
Could be.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's not a big. Point is, it's not a big deal, and we're seeing Revolution with his little Muta flock try to kind of posture outside of Cold's Muta flock, and now's the interesting part where we both kind of think about how they're going to go about this situation. Are they going to play it really crisply by just trying to get as little tech and drones as possible to force that Muta count to be at its absolute potential? Or are they going to try something tricky, like get Infestors out to try to catch the Muta flock off guard?
Yep. Both are correctly going +1 Carapace, and they're just making Mutas, Overlords, a couple drones here and there. Not too much different. But we do see the Mutas of Cold going across the map, and the Mutas of Revolution coming back home. So he does find the Banelings and is going to get rid of those. A couple Zerglings might get a free Muta here, but doesn't want to overstay his welcome, as the Defender's advantage and some awkwardly placed Spore Crawlers will ruin his day, effectively.
Yeah. These Lings coming in, Cold, pretty confident that he can get something done here.
Yep. I'd like to see him make a couple of Banelings.
This is a little thing that we actually didn't see for a long time in the Muta versus Muta battles. Nowadays, the modern meta of it is you have your Lings under your Mutas at all times. You never take a fight without that, because the Lings will soak up glaives, which makes a big difference. So a little bit of
Cold's got some Lingbane happening in here.
Yeah, this could be some good shots going down on these Banelings. And interesting little tactic there out of Cold. He drew the Mutas to the side and then went in with his army. So that was pretty smart. And the reason that it surprised Revolution is because Revolution doesn't have any Overlords. That's the key caveat of Muta vs. Muta. You have no vision really of your opponent. So in these situations, you can be misled, like we saw Revolution get a little bit misled there.
Now we do see Revolution opting for a 4th base right now, and Cold opting for keeping up the aggression. Both going for +1 attack after +1 Carapace.
I do actually want to applaud Cold. He's really been holding his own. He's been playing very aggressively with his Mutas to the point that he hasn't really lost anything, and he's kept Revolution severely on the back foot. Revolution hasn't really been able to spring out and do a lot of damage, but there's a tremendous difference between the two, and can you tell me what that is right now?
Gonna guess
fight happening.
the amount of Lings.
Well, why? Oh, well, big fight happening, and I think Revolution's on the losing end of this fight. If Cold plays this right, he could actually snipe the third here, and it seems like he's gonna
You
choose
don't
to
want
back
to take
off.
you don't want to take a chance on sniping the third because anytime your mutas have no anytime your mutas are attacking something other than mutas, the other mutas could potentially just take attacks for free.
Let me rephrase that. Cold has to do something right now because Cold has taken first off his third being attacked, but take a look at his third. Do you see something wrong with it? What's wrong with his third?
There's no drones at it.
There you go. He's taken a huge deficit in the worker lead. We actually saw Revolution going up to about 16 drones at his third, and this is the secret. This is why Revolution was actually on the back foot for all those engagements, because Cold opted not to saturate his third base. Cold opted to be more aggressive in the mid game, and as a result, we're going to probably see Cold either do big enough damage here to make good on that investment, or we're going to see Revolution even it out and take a big lead from his economic advantage. And the third looks like it's going to go down, and the Muta War is being, oh no, it's coming just about in Revolution's favor. Yeah, Cold pull back. Oh no.
So, interestingly enough, I think it ends up being pretty close.
Yeah.
They have about the same number of mutas. Revolution lost his hatchery, but has another one that he can just go to, and
Yeah.
Cold isn't afforded that luxury. So
Very unfortunate.
Cold's making more lings because he doesn't know, because he can't stick around with his own mutas to figure out where his production needs to be.
Yeah, very unfortunate that he didn't actually notice that fourth. That's that could be a game-losing mistake right there. And we've seen the moral of this game is Revolution's been playing extremely greedy with this mid game. He's been really trying to take as much of an economic advantage as he can to build up his ling count or whatever he wants. And sometimes we see the effect of that play into both players' favors. We only see now that Cold starts to saturate his third, and I think he's only doing that because his main is mining out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Cold's taken a more aggressive posture here.
I wouldn't even call it
taking
aggressive.
less drones.
I would call it a desperate posture at this point, honestly. Like, this is getting really dangerous for him. This Muta fight could be in his favor, though. We'll see. Nope, pulls back.
He does run away. Revolution's going to have his Flyer Carapace level 2 done, and Cold's is still about 2 minutes away.
Yeah, the general order of upgrades is 1, 1, 2, 2.
Yeah, even though 0, 2 mutas will beat 1, 1 mutas, the time it takes to get 0, 2 mutas is actually a lot longer. Cold's got a huge run by. He's attacking everywhere.
Yeah, but we see now that, and you know, interestingly enough, Revolution also
try to snipe the Spire.
Yeah, but Revolution, this doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, his meal lead is pretty big. Also important to note is the fact that we actually saw Revolution move out with his army and then run back when he saw Cold run by. And this is again indicative of his mindset, like, I can't take big risks, I can't throw the game into a state of chaos because then I won't be able to guarantee my victory. Now we see Cold is he's making mistakes because at this point you have to take risks because he initially left his third extremely undersaturated, and now he's kind of paying for that by having to take these silly engagements.
Yep. And we'll see in the amount of time that Cold hasn't had that Revolution hasn't had a Spire, Cold's been able to catch up in Muta count, but he hasn't been able to overtake it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. We're gonna see soon the full force of 8 geysers kick in for Revolution in about 30 seconds to a minute. And once that happens, I don't see what kind of hope that Cold has. It's just going to be a raw numbers advantage. But we see at the same time Cold, knowing the situation he's in, sneaking around, and Revolution potentially anticipating this, moving his army in position to intercept. The fourth
Not gonna see 8 geysers.
Yeah, the fourth is going down.
We are gonna see a fight that Cold doesn't want.
Why is he? Oh no, he's charging headlong. Oh, but the Bailing's not getting much damage because, as we see, the Mutaflock is quite formidable in favor of Revolution. Cold trying to stutter step his mutas while his mutas scream, "No, don't do it, master! We can't win!"
And now we see a run-by of Revolution about to take place.
Yeah, this is the time Revolution smells blood. He knows how far ahead he is. He knows what kind of advantage he has. And now all he has to do is just butcher the economy that is left for Snow. A few drone kills is all it will.
It's cold. Not snow.
God damn it. Spire going down also for Cold. Muta's being sniped left and right. Oh, how unfortunate. Oh, the humanity. Oh, the Kerrigan.
Yep. So, and I believe the rest is just a matter of technique. If he finds the Spire now, it's going to take forever to rebuild, and because he started the Spire, but now he doesn't have a lair. And we see some skirmishes all over the map, and I think Cold's running out of breath here.
Alright, I have a question for you.
Yes?
In this situation, Revolution has a heart attack. Who won? If you're the judge, who do you deem the winner?
If Revolution has a heart attack?
At this right moment, during this game.
Well, I don't think the game ends.
That's true. Because it's interesting, there's actually like a history in which if a player like disconnected before they had resumed from replay, the judges would look at the game, and if it looked significantly enough in the favor of one player, they would deem that player the victor.
So you're asking if we're at that point right now? I would say we probably are, but...
Yeah.
And no lair, no Spire. It's gonna be no defense from the Mutas. And Cold will be forced to GG out here momentarily.
Yep.
So if you're Cold, what do you do differently in game number 2?
Saturate my third. I don't take that huge risk. I try to play it standard. I look for an advantage with my Muta control. I be omniscient with it. I spread lings everywhere so he can't do run-bys. I anticipate his moves, and I try to play as standard as possible in that situation, because if you're trying to attack into someone who's built Spore Crawlers, built the requisite defenses, there's no way you're going to break him with Mutaling.
Yep.
Not really.
So we do see Cold with the GG, and Cold picking the next map.
Yep.
And he will come right back at you with that. Here we go.
And we are playing on Vani Research Station.
This map, I feel, is super good for Mutas instead of Roaches because of the super long rush distance and the layout of the bases. So,
very much so.
Yeah, the Mutalisks are going to be able to harass and attack the natural, but Roaches will pretty much never get there unless the game is over, or there's some, like, Nidus worm or something.
Yeah.
In base layouts like this, you prefer to have mobility over...
At the same time, though, it's not impossible to play Roaches on this style, but not in the sense of, like, Rush Roach, but Turtle Roach. So what you can do is you can essentially turtle on 4 to 6 queens, depending on how much he commits to Mutalisks, get Spore Crawlers, and you can connect the bases all very easily, even your 4th base, because of that base layout. So while the Mutas can be very, very dangerous, as long as you guard against Ling run-bys, and you have the queens